Flat Earth British, Martin Liedtke speaking. Welcome back to the Great Flat Earth British Think Tank for another rollercoaster ride of information. Super fantastic to be back. Did you miss me? Really? It's been a week. I have been very, very busy, all which will be talked about in this post. I guess I should start here. Thanks a million, or thanks 20,000 for 20,000 subscribers this week on the Martin Liedtke channel. My old channel, which was the previous Martin Liedtke channel, which is now the Celtic Tatarian channel, also arrived at 22,000 subscribers this week. This keeps happening. I have two milestones on two channels exactly the same week. This has happened before. So yeah, super fantastic. Thanks everybody. Make sure to keep sharing, make sure to keep subscribing, and let's get this information more out there. Okay, let's help more people. Okay, because we're only a small community and not everyone's hearing. If this information was available to all of people, even the information that I'm going to give you in this vlog could do a lot of good. Okay, and the information is going to come out in following vlogs from this. I'm going to talk about Barbaria. Okay guys, if you don't know, Flat Earth British has set up a breakaway civilization to save people and get off the grid before, not after, the shit hits the fan. Everyone seems to be thinking everything's going to be absolutely rosy, okay, and sitting on their money thinking they're going to spend it all later, okay. They're gone nuts. They're strangling people in the fucking street for not wearing a mask. Okay, this is just a new kind of crazy, guys. I don't trust them, and I'm not hanging around to see what's coming. Now, as I've always said, the good news is, as we know, as the vibration lifts, something really amazing and magical is going to happen. We all know it, and we're not feared. We do not worry about any of this and what they are trying to do. Because we know in our souls that it's all good. So what we're going to look at in this, guys, is how they survived resets in the past, in history. Okay, we're going to look at, in this post, how they might have survived Noah's Flood, which was maybe 400, 500 years ago. I think the calendar was switched off. I think that we now here are a post-apocalyptic society. The later throes, heading into a new, very precarious time. Okay, so Barbaria. Now, we're going to look at in this post, guys, survivability. We're going to look into one aspect of reset, which is flood. Okay, so Noah. But later on in this mini-series, we're going to look at things we will need to survive in these places. So I'm going to give you the tools to build, free energy devices, okay, atmospheric energy gathering devices, so that you can, or we can, do this on our breakaway civilization. The keys to becoming free men and free women outside of their bullshittery. The health, vibration. I've got a qualification in horticulture. That's very handy. Be able to grow things. So all of this is going to be shared on Flat Earth British. The keys, time capsule for survivability, just in case we're reset. Okay. There's no point like waiting till it comes on top and then saying, oh shit, I should have done something earlier. If it doesn't arrive, super fucking tastic. We were prepared because we're fucking smart. We didn't sit there just, putting our thumbs. Maybe somebody else will sort it all out. In the meantime, what do you think? Yeah, maybe somebody will sort it out for us. We better just sit and wait, have we? Yeah, just sit and wait. See how that pans out. So I am getting rather frustrated with Barbaria, basically because I haven't got one in Britain. The one in America is, you need a small amount of money, but northern Arizona is there. Barbaria, Brazil. Okay, I've sent maybe, or connected, a dozen people in the last week. Okay, and I had a message from Peter in Barbaria, Queensland. Barbaria, Queensland. Peter's given us, for Barbaria, 240 acres of beautiful, beautiful Queensland. And as you know, guys, Australia has a war on at the moment. Its government has declared war on its civilians. Okay, just strangling them in the fucking streets. Now, the message is things are getting tight and harder to move. So if anyone needs to get away with their families for safety, okay, start again. Now would be the time. Now, Peter has instructed me this, and it's very, very fair. You're not going to be able to turn up at the last minute when the shit hits the fan, thinking that you can just set up and take people's supplies and all of the infrastructure is there that the people have been working hard to put there. You know, we've got to be able to muck in. People are going to be building homes, the infrastructure for free energy and society, and the food and the supplies for the people who are there, okay, to survive. So if you turn up in the last minute because you can see everything's gone to shit in a handbag, which it has already, that will not be fair because the supplies will be short and you haven't mucked in jack shit, so that will not do. So this is a commitment thing for yourselves and your families and the future. Okay, now this idea is going to take off and it will echo and it will reciprocate through time. People will know about this and they will want to copy it. Now in the truth community, I notice there's other people popping up ideas of breakaway civilizations, aren't there? But why isn't everybody working together? Safety in numbers and more people get more focus and everything else. Why is everyone keeping so insular in the truth community? Can somebody please tell me? Why aren't we all working together on this? It's humanity is for everybody, isn't it? So why is that not happening? Just asking. I will keep on. So this is what we're doing, guys, and we're going to look at survivability through flood. If these places are going to be fine just through that, they are. Okay, and we're going to look at how they survived, or ideas actually, for how they might have survived last reset if they'd had a tip off, or they knew that something was coming. Okay, now make sure to subscribe, share this out, please. We're going to look at some crazy stuff through this, guys. We've got images of the day. We're going to look into some crazy document from 1717 of anatomical experiments, which is a bit whoa, but worth a look and very, very crazy. So we're going to look at that. And just share thoughts. I've been thinking about why cities are twins. Now I'm thinking about them as computer systems. These twinned cities, like Cardiff where it is twinned with Stuttgart in Germany and Zhangxing in China. Why are they twinned? Is it just their geographic populations and they on a coast, geographical locations? I think there's more to it, guys. So 1000 thoughts shared. We're going to look at some old maps that I've dug up and loads of just juicy stuff and what I've been thinking about. Okay, hope that's good. Peace and love, and let's have a think about floods. Let's have a think about Noah's flood and how they survived afterwards. So this is a National Geographic projection, okay, and it's if the sea levels rise 216 foot, but they're blaming ice cap meltage. So we can't really do that because we don't know the confinements of our enclosure, or if that could in fact cause dramatic sea rises. Now, what I want you to take note of, guys, and this is a fact, that most of the world's population are in cities, coastlines, or in precarious volcanic or active earthquake zones. But you will find, if you look into it, that a good percentage, maybe 80%, an exceptionally high percentage of humanity all live on coastlines or in precarious areas that could have disasters. Now, I think this is on purpose. I think this is a deliberate thing. You know, this is like the east coast of America, so you got everything like Boston, New York, Norfolk, Charleston, and all of Florida, all of, you know, a lot of Louisiana, New Orleans gone, all the way down here, everything underwater. And the Missouri River in other projections that I have a little bit of higher water, it splits America clean in two. And that sliver we witnessed on the map that I showed on my extra on the Flat Earth British channel a little while ago would have showed this sliver here from the Missouri up. So yeah, this is 2013, they're saying the glaciers were this big. 2012, they're this big. This looks like a mining operation, by the way. So obviously in this narrative they're blaming global warming bullshit, but there's definitely changes happening in the weather. But this is an electromagnetic change. This is the sun and the moon and something else completely different going on. But yeah, we can all sense it. I think we're in a different place completely, is what I think. A lot of the Amazon basin does flood, but this amount is absolutely fine. And he's on relatively higher ground, probably somewhere around here maybe. Or even in here. But a lot of Brazil is fine. All Chile desert is fine. A lot of this is taken out. And a lot of Argentina. Montevideo. So a lot of these major cities on coasts, look on West African coast, gone. Sahara seems to be fine. Mediterranean not too bad. Egypt not too bad. Saudi Arabia doesn't seem to get it that bad. Or maybe it does lose a bit. So everywhere loses land mass. Everywhere loses land mass. Denmark on all projections seems to disappear, as well as the lowlands. Yeah, these are the most populated areas on Earth. This is the most populated area in Europe. You know, the cities that are in Europe, Brussels, Amsterdam, or you know, Hamburg, Bremen, all of these giant cities, Copenhagen, all of these, all gone. Why did they put so much in a floodplain? Tallinn, where my father's from, Estonia, gone. Latvia, Lithuania, much of it gone. Britain, Norfolk Broads, a lot of the east coast gone. In fact, all the way around. But Wales seems to be absolutely fine. Wales is fantastic for survivability, for a reset. So yeah, frustrating. Be wanting to get together Barbaria in Britain, in Wales, for survivability. I'm going to have to do something about that very shortly, because time's ticking away. And they, the Phoenicians, are in between the tick and the talk. Not far away at all. I don't know much of China's gone, but a lot of the, the Gobi Desert, all of Mongolia, a lot of Asia survives pretty well. So that's 230 meters, and the inland sea of Australia returns. I got this in an atlas called the Phantom Atlas, where they show all maps and old paintings with a giant lake in Australia. I posted about it nearly 3 years ago now on the Tatarian channel. New Zealand's not too bad. This is why the elites go to Patagonia and New Zealand or wherever else in here. Oh, that's bullshit. So yeah. So this is you get many projections with this is a bit higher. This is, I think this was 500 feet of water, or less. No, it was less, but they added on the caption when I downloaded it. But all of Britain disappears. A little bit of Wales and a bit of Scotland. Rest gone. All of Europe. I'm surprised some of Italy, but that's just the rib of mountains. Some of Spain. Now what we have been finding is in the last 10 years, maybe more, they've done a mass migration of humanity. They've been filtering people from, for whatever reason, escaping wars that that they've made, and they all filter them all the way through Europe and Mexico coming up as well, all into the middle bit of the aqueduct, the flat Earth map. Everyone's in the middle bit. Everyone's on coasts, and now there's a pandemic, which is a cover story for something much, much bigger coming. South Africa is quite good. Some of the Amazon absolutely smashing. Around Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, which is where this guy's from, São Paulo, so I take it's in this area. It's fantastic, it's survivable. He has checked it, been there for 25 years, guys. He moved there for this case scenario, 'cause it's higher and everything else. So a lot of places do survive. All of Asia, a lot of Scandinavia disappears, and America all the way up to Missouri gone. And again, like that map, I got it again, another one I can show you a bit later. It's just that sliver of America left. So picture, after Noah's flood, this was what it was. Okay, the world was all underwater, water's receding. Some of the maps show this. I'm guessing that a lot of people knew this stuff was coming. They could have, set up measures like what we're doing now on Flat Earth British, because basically, why sit there and wait for someone else to do it? This is what you find in reality: is nobody do fuck all for you. You've got to do it yourself, guys. That's what you find. So let's have some ideas to, excuse me, what could have gone on. So Noah and the flood could have been two Noahs. It could have all happened in America, but we've also posted a book which is basically Noah's adventures in Europe, and he goes across Europe and Asia having a fantastic time until he had some black magic put on him by Ham for his fornicating ways, and they say it landed on, or was on, Mount Ararat. So this is where the Bible goes with. So I've been looking into Turkey, and it turns out some of the most interesting sites in the world are in Turkey, in this area of Mount Ararat, and they're all connected with Reset. I think they are all connected, definitely. I've also been, in the past looking into Lake Van, which is basically western Turkey, but another fantastic place covered with these Coptic churches, Armenian style. So yeah, we're looking at this side here. It's on the side of Mount Ararat, Durapinar, in eastern Turkey on the Armenian border, near Iraq as well, so not far from Babylon. And this is what they discovered. Many of you probably seen it. It's been all over like history channels and ancient aliens and stuff for quite some time. Okay, but they found a thing made of rock that's the exact dimensions of the biblical length, and it has what looked like vitrified or turned to stone ribbed timbers. So at some stage it would have been a giant ship. It's got a bow, it's got a stern. You don't get front rear on a ship, bow and stern, and looks just like a ship. And then I looked at this image and I was like, holy fuck. The mesa at the top looks like a wall, and then I looked underneath. I worked in archaeology. All of this is antiquity. This mound, this is some sort of devastation, and this is an earthwork. This is a site. This was a civilization of some sort. This was here, and there is a big, large ship-looking building, and this. So it's feasible this place got hit by Reset, and this possibly the Reset. We'll just say that it was for argument's sake, Noah's Ark. But we're going to give you different ideas what we have thought about Noah's Ark actually to be. We could be actually in Noah's Ark right now. Okay, we could be in it now. Lost at sea, guys. Save our souls. Yeah, because we're all lost at sea. That's water above. Yeah, boat. Or pyramids, arcs for survivability, which we have prostrated, and we will talk about in this post. So there it is from above. She definitely looks ship-like, but there's a bit more going on with that topography, no doubt about it. Looks like the bottom of the sea where mud is just all cracked, the water's gone away maybe. So it fits. And the antiquity in the background, there sure is a lot more going on. Definitely. So, about 150 miles, 175 miles south is Cappadocia. It's still in Turkey, near the border. Not far, not too far from Noah's Ark is this civilization of Derinkuyu. And it's the biggest underground installation in antiquity, but never ever used. What you find is a multi-level, maybe a dozen levels, under this mountain, which I think is a pyramid. Okay, I think this whole thing got blitzed, and I think this thing was a giant bunker. They say there's no human habitation inside, but they built it, so it could have been a device because the place fills up with water. But you get these, okay, these rocky things. Okay, so let's imagine that this place would have been above ground level because it's been mud flooded over and over, and it's had plasma discharge event, which took out Derinkuyu castle and turned it into a big stone, which could have been the top of a pyramid. And the whole thing is, and look at this, guys, old, ancient, like we see in our depictions. Even that one looks like a church door. So it's mega. Ways into the most unbelievable, massive underground system you've ever seen. But they mud flooded, aren't they? Mud's come dripping down. So, plenty of ideas of what it could be. I think it's something to do with technology. I think it's something to do with water. They say this is what's supposed to have happened. It's all cattle. I'll show you a better image now. People. Enough to survive 20,000 to 40,000 people comfortably in a bunker in a hill in Turkey in the east in ancient times. Not far from Noah's Ark. Connected? Maybe not. And it was never used. Did they have not enough time to get into the bunker? Or is this some sort of technology to do with water? Now, we said on Flight with British that you can basically extract oxygen from separating hydrogen and oxygen water, H2O, using resonance. And we put this forward for the resonance chamber doing this job, this exact job in the main pyramid of Giza. This place fills up with water, okay? It's pyramid shaped, and then I found this. These seem to be what looks like something to do with sound. If you've been in a recording studio, they augment or break up the sound, okay? These as well. So I think this is something to do with water. Fill this up, resonation, to create air for all of the chambers above. This was a pyramid, and this is to survive the flood. This is what I'm thinking. Gobekli Tepe, just on the border with Syria, and the other side is just up north of this lake here. And this is Cappadocia. So it looks like high technology, this one. This is just a little bit further south, Gobekli Tepe. Okay, another site, they say the oldest on Earth. 10,000-year-olds. They say, oh, this is from the Bronze Age. It's the oldest site we've ever found, really. And it's connected with probably aliens, because they found a lot of artifacts of what look like aliens there. And architecture which makes no sense at all. So it's not a dwelling. They say it might be a temple, but if you watch Wise Up, anything like this with these slats and circular had a dome on top, and the dome is fallen in and no longer there. So that's a possibility. But these giant T-stones, they got flat tops. I can imagine them with metal on them. In fact, I can imagine the whole of this as a machine of sorts. Antiquity has no idea what it is. These T-shaped obelisks, all buried in the mud, found by a farmer in 1990 while he was walking in the middle of nowhere, apparently. But they knew about some of this site as early as the 50s. But yeah, all of this has been recently dug out. Seems to be a nice floor there. So they have no idea, so it's open for interpretation fully. I think it's technology because of what it looks like from above. And they say it's the oldest site on Earth. And it was in mud. So I think this was antediluvian, this is post-flood world technology. And these strange glyphs of, you know, this one's got an eagle, wings open with a ball. So it's very much Phoenician. Stuff we recognise. And see these handbags? They're them like lodestone things that the Mesopotamians carry. You'll see these, the lodestones. Even hands, maybe birds. Them handbags again. Eagle, wings open, sun. It's the same language. It's the same. All of this was buried. So there you are. It's a rather extensive site. Only a small percentage has been unearthed. It goes off apparently into the hillside. It's massive, and they've only done a little tiny bit of it. And yet, it's only a hop, skip and a jump from what was apparently Noah's Ark. I think this is the whole place was surviving for a massive reset. This is like these bunkers you get in the modern day, but from the old day. I think this whole thing was covered here. Maybe with a larger dome, smaller domes, who knows. But yeah, looks like tech. Looks like tech. And the obelisks inside, you can see, all buried in mud. Are these T-bar columns or stones, which have a language on them which looks decidedly like English. So we've got H, C, and C. Or H code, H bomb, not the explosive, James Brockway H bomb. CC to opposing Tauruses. And it's a belt with a belt buckle, and it's a dude holding his hands around his stomach in a stone form. And stones like this with belts or what look like keyholes. Serpents going down, so it's the old serpent again. And some strange skeletons and anomalies. This one looks like it's had trapping in, or it's got a hole drilled into its head. They found some crazy skeletons there, and these critters all over Gobekli Tepe. So they had a giant underground installation, no one ever used, which floods with water and has the ability to make air. And further south a little bit again is Gobekli Tepe, an underground, what looks like giant device, which has these people, or whatever they are, occupying it. They're highly freaky. This one has shellfish eyes. Looks very shellfish. And that's what you find in there. Totems. Totems are what they look like, I guess. Scrotum totem. The word rhymes. So, scrotum totem. So I think there's something definitely phallic going on with there, because you've got a bit of the bell ends going on. But yeah, they're totems. Dog heads, or whatever animal that is with big teeth. And they have these carved out. Strange sort of beasts. And him. He turns up. There's his cone head, and he's stuck giant smarties all over his uniform. But he has a gadget. Some strange pointy looking codpiece. And he's been up for a week, stoned, and his eyes have all swollen up. You can't even see out of them. The state of him. So he's cone head, isn't he? So that's who occupied Gobekli Tepe, or they want you to think that 10,000 years ago, when this place was non-active because it never got used again, they found these artifacts, but no human-like inhabitation except for the dead. Like, you know, houses. It's not a house. They said it might have been a temple, place for people to go into the middle of nowhere and visit, apparently. It's bullshit. But they got a Buddha. A Buddha with a massive pair of moobs. And a big fat stomach. And knees, which are all flappy as well. So this guy's like obese. Don't know what's going on with him. I can see my wheelie. So, I can't. This was what somebody in Gobekli Tepe done bored under a tree one day. Some fellow was really bored under a tree one day. But see what he was thinking. And, looks like it's from the Middle Ages. He has no legs. I think this is a peg and goes into something. See? Like a lip. It's a handle. That's in something and you pull it. It's a handle. Some sort of machine. And they lived there. They want you to believe they lived there. I don't know if I trust Gobekli Tepe as a site. But it's definitely there. I can't see him being faking it. But the narrative's bullshit and they know little about it. So that's why I dug in. It's worth a look. And they say they're there. Living. Oh, they found them. That's my thumbnail. That's spooky. Yeah, they're the Gobekli Tepeans. These have two heads, one body. Yeah. They're the knights that say Shmi. Could you make me a little shrubbery? But yeah, I reckon they look like Stepford Wives. In fact, they look a little bit like Village of the Damned Children. In fact, they look like the people now, don't they? Why are you not wearing a mask? Have you not heard? There's a germ of
virus. You could catch a cold, or worse, you could infect someone else and give them a cold.
Oh, right. Yeah, but that's what they're saying. You can see that in their eyes. Yeah. These are babos. But they look spooky. They got some sort of phallic. I don't even know what this implement does. Or if he's smiling, I guess he is. Knob worship. There won't be too many penises or vaginas in this post. Okay? Not too many. And he got a weird sort of Mohican-y haircut. Where he's a conehead. And they occupy it as well. Lizard people. With boobs. I think this one's got a little baby. Maybe. Baby lizard. Oh. Look at these little cute shooty woofies. What do lizards have as feet? Don't know. Strange hat, but yeah, this is apparently in Gobekli Tepe. Cheeky little number. High shoulders. Fan of Grace Jones and stick on Smarty. So they were really into bling, these lizards. A bit like the Queen. Another conehead. Do you disagree? Found in Gobekli Tepe. And this guy, Mr. Peanut Head, who's got a bad belly, who's looking really grumpy, also looks like a chest burster from the film Alien. But my guess is he's a peanut head, or a nutter, a nuthead, a grumpy nuthead. Don't mind that. It looks sad. Melting clocks, nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but having looking into time or the absence of, and I know what they're doing anyway. So this looks like it might be tech. It's a stone ring, and what could it be for? But part of Gobekli Tepe system. And these strange heads. I don't know if they're terracotta, but they dug them up there. This one looks like he's a transformer. In fact, they look like exoskeletons. They are skulls. Look, you can see the things. He's dead. And they've put red ochre on him or something, and maybe even death masks. Yeah, that's a death mask. Oh, that's really weird. There they are. Gobekli Tepians. What kind of people were they? They weren't people. They were from a previous reset. From before pre-Mud Flood, and we've seen this sort of thing in the past, haven't we, in our vlogs. Cone heads, dog heads, pig heads, fox heads, you name it. This is in Yorkshire in England. It's not Mother Shipman's cave, it's another one, and it's a bottomless well. There's no bottom to it. It just goes on forever and ever, apparently, so I've been told. Back to the vlog. Now, Noah's flood. The Earth was populated after the flood. Loads survived, how it happened and where. This map is actually. But if I just show you how advanced it was in apparently the Bronze Age, okay. And the first thing you find is this is all set in the Middle Ages. What we're looking at here is Pierre van der Haar, okay, lead atlases 1733, and this is meant to be the city of Nineveh in the ancient world prior to the flood. And what you find is a circuit board. Not only is a circuit board, I'll show you from above, but you've got the H's and these buildings, you know, these civic buildings, the post office, you know, these buildings you've got in every single city in Christendom, all in an enclosure, all with water all the way around. This is a star fort in ancient Nineveh. Star fort in the Bronze Age. Blah! You see what I mean, guys? And this thing in the centre processor. So what you find in every city is the bank on the corner with them columns outside. That in every corner in every city in the world, really, they are heat sinks. This is what the columns are doing. They are heat sinks. They resonate. They could cool it. So yeah, these are some of the depictions of antiquity. This is the stealing of Herod's or Solomon's temple. And what you find in biblical times, it's Jerusalem. It looks like a medieval town in Europe, and nowadays it's flat roofed Muslimy, Araby looking town. But in this stage, it is Europe. But they're stealing the Corinthian tops because they're the technology. Masonry. And burning that, which happens to be, as you'll see shortly, a massive quinky dink knot, a device. The Tower of Babel, what were they up to? Now, they were reaching up into the information, okay, which is in the water. Now, look what it is giving off, guys. What is it giving off? It's giving off steam, isn't it? Now, this is a device, and these long elongated windows are for either what we did think was for terraforming, but no, that's not the case. These are either for sound or vibration. Okay, these are like church long windows, sound, and you will always find this corkscrew effect. Okay, so this is stepped technology. But in this case, it's emanating steam, or it could be in the clouds because it's that high, I guess. Yes, that could be the case. Although I have seen other ones with steam. And you're on a star fort, which we'll show you later. So they're all beating one another up because before a reset, people get panicky because they can't cope with the terrible shit that's going on. They go nuts and they try and like, oh, I wish I'd have thought of surviving earlier. Maybe I should. What's the time? Maybe I should get it on now. I got all that money I've been sitting on. But it would be too late. So what you're finding for this beautiful Van der Haar depiction is it's Europe looking. Now if this is like, you know, Tower of Babel, you know, in Iran, Iraq, where they say it's supposed to be, Babylon, why has it got a beautiful deciduous European tree that would never grow in a desert? Because this place, which the Fertile Crescent, was like British countryside, and the desert and everything that's come along since has come along since. Look at it, this is Europe. Unless this Tower of Babel situation was situated in Europe. Same elongated windows, same massive domes, and a arch to go through to either demagnetize, check in, or debugged if they're pulling this plague scam then, which you probably are. So yeah, that was reaching up into the information, or up to the dome. Everyone in apparently humanity got to take part in it, building this tower. It's highly important tower, but it's not the only one. They built many of them. There's another Tower of Babel as well. You see a few of them on the landscape, but that one's the master. This is Babel, you see. Okay, that's a completely different affair, isn't it? That's not the Tower of Babel we just see. What you will see is exactly the same scenario. It's water enclosures. This is not defensive, full stop, because anyone could get in. And inside, guys, okay, it's supposed to be biblical times, and they're all European, modern-looking dwellings. Nothing to do with the Arab world. Yeah, outside, it's apocalyptic, mud, sand, nothing going on. A lot of people making their way to Babylon. But it's the architecture, guys. It's not for that world. There's even a block of flats there. And this in Babylon, which is exactly like Nineveh, and they're all water surrounded, star forts, highly technological in the Bible era. This is supposed to be the Bronze Age. It's very insulting. You know, Nineveh again. It's a star fort. See the star forted edges, and this giant column, which is could not be for any habitation or anything. This centre bit is like a centre processor. A lot of people making their way there to Nineveh. And there's your post-apocalyptic map after the flood. The waters receded from what I just showed you, and they came out of the Akshur, and then they repopulated. Tartary is there at that period. See, Tartaria, just after the flood. Ham goes off on one across here. Any of them cities in Britain, like Southampton or anything with ham in, is I think it's them. Barbaria on the North African coast. So yeah, most of it is back at this period. A few anomalous islands. And Noah goes off across, and goes on one across Asia, according to the Noah in Europe book. And here's some Cherubinowskis evilly testing buoyancy for the buoyancy of ships. They're testing it. So the Cherubinowskis have something to do with testing buoyancy for the Ark. What? And they're showing medieval or 1700 ships. What? Here's the Ark. But it could be a house. Doesn't say anything about a boat in the Bible till, probably King James. Don't think it does there. Animals, 2x2, guess. But they could have put them in test tubes. In fact, homunculus are very much like test tube babies. Aren't they? So they could have knocked them all out with some sort of sleeping potion, I guess. Walked through. Could you carry 2 of every animal in the world in an ark that big? I don't think so. What about all the ants? Yeah. How did they survive? You don't need fishes, because they're alright in a flood. They're lucky. So anything maritime, don't worry about. So yeah, they got their shit together. They built more than one ark. There was 3 at least on this hill that they show you in later depictions. So you can find all of these on the Celtic Tatarian channel to watch yourself. All of these videos have been made over and over again. I'm just showing you that they have advanced technology, as in ceramic conductors or insulators here. Insulated conductors. You've got some sort of vibrational resonation thing here. Blocks, batteries, or magnets either side with a basically what is essentially a tuning fork or a trident which would vibrate, okay, or a magnet. So this is vibrational technology. The superconductors of some sort, or transformers. And there is as well, this is the Exodus. Now I just got to thinking about marches and soldiers parades. They drill these people in the army to do these crazy processions. Just imagine the Russians in Red Square doing that crazy march. Worse, the Chinese doing their Tiananmen their march in Tiananmen Square. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, that's even crazier. They do like a crazy step march, yeah? So they do it all in perfect precision, and there's hundreds, in fact thousands, in phalanx, in squares, in blocks, looking like a circuit board. That's technology. All of them people, all not touching, all sort of right next to one another in a block, that would create a lot of charge. And there was a big deal with the setting up of the camp. That had a map as well in the centre with the tabernacle, etc. That's all emphasis on, Moses' mass murders. So Moses, somebody in my comments will run off to Wikipedia and say, oh, I know why Moses had horns. They weren't horns. They're horns, okay? There's actually, in this book, it shows you him burning the priests for sedition, He burns everybody. The guy's a mass murderer. I tell you something else as well. Og, the giant, right, who is Welsh, kicked his ass back to the Stone Age. Big time. Okay, I was really happy about that. So yeah, Moses had a good kicking. So no, you're wrong, Martin. He was a good man. So what's all of this demon shit going on then associated with him? And Pan goes around chasing, he's like a sex pest, basically. And there's Pan's other friend, and he got horns too. No, it's not horns, Moses. Moses is, in the Bible, he's a good person. He wasn't a good person, he was a murderer. He killed the tax man, didn't he? Taxed him when he was a slave, and he fucking killed him, so he was a murderer. It was a good murder, the guy was evil. Oh, right, so I can go around killing all the evil people in the world. Well, that's going to keep me fucking busy forever, isn't it? No, that doesn't wash. So as you can see, evil, Phoenician, and Moses with his craziness going on. So what you'll find, which is what Peter was saying, don't turn up the last minute when this happens. This happens ahead of a reset. Everyone starts, holy shit, they were fucking lying.
Oh my god, I didn't do anything to prepare. Oh my god, what are we gonna do now? I know what we'll do. We'll scram each other to pieces. Oh!
Because that's what they'll do. They'll go scratchy crazy. Okay, and this is what happens. Prior to reset, everyone just kills everyone else. Okay,
No problemo.
there's a lot of bad people in this place. So what you find also in the biblical times is they have European castles of the Middle Ages, and they have Phoenicians and their shells, because it's the Phoenicians. And what do they do? Well, what they usually do, they murder trillions every time. They will again, but I don't think they can. The truth is, these have got a big emphasis on heads. They want to chop everybody's heads off, just like the French Phoenicians. They were crazy on decapitation in the French Revolution. These are too. Something to do with talking heads. It's something to do with head in a jar. I just know it is. And the severing of the head is what I think. So, and what you got here is Jerusalem. And I think there's definitely something more important going on with Table Mount. That's a big part of the prophecy. But in this period, it is mud flooded to hell out, and it's not a star fort or a circular building. It's completely different. So that could be, maybe who even knows, another Jerusalem. There are different locations. I've even seen Italian cities proposed. Florence as Jerusalem, Salem. So yeah, Jesus was born here. So Jesus was what? He was born in like a little English village with an English church, or a couple of English churches. No, Nazareth's in the Holy Land. It should be desert. But he was born in a little bunker in a post-reset world drama. Also blitzed by the mud. That looks a bit more Arab. So Solomon, okay, Solomon's temple happens to be exactly like a processor. And Solomon, we look into on Flat Earth British, and one thing he's really renowned for is Solomon's sigils. Sol man, sun man. Solomon's sigils are piezoelectric forces, demons, which are angels, and demons, both, which are electrical forces, because all is electric in this place, including them. Okay, they can be used for magic and mind control as well, sigils. But best not to look at a sigil for too long, they say. That's a circuit board. That is what the deal could be about with the whole of Solomon's temple and the sacking of it, and this is a gadget with a centre processor, and looks like it's out of the Phoenician world, because it is Solomon's temple. All of this biblical stuff is in recent past, and not 2,000 years ago, and in this case 8,000 or whatever for the biblical times. Closer to 10, they say. Recognise the architecture? Yeah, I know. Could be Italy, could be Lisbon, could be Germany, could be anywhere. It's supposed to be ancient Jerusalem, whatever. And pyramids, as proposed for technology to survive a flood, is something that we talked about on Flat Earth British, and we'll talk about it right now. So this is Derinkuyu, in case you never knew. This is what it looks like underneath. There's all these different levels which could have housed many thousands. Why didn't they get down there? Or was this thing bigger, a skyscraper, and on the surface, or the interior of a pyramid? What do you think about this site of Derinkuyu? Let me know. It's the Cappadocian cave system of Derinkuyu. It's the biggest they got. Now, you don't know, I reached 22,000. I haven't got a clue why, because I haven't uploaded a video on here in a month. But as you can see, I'm not getting the views on here. I don't know what's happened. But I got 22,000. I haven't posted on there for like nearly a year or 8 months. But everything you hear at the moment, we've been talking about for a few years on here. I know a lot of you have just seen the Matt and Leaker channel and think that it's only just showed up last year. But the fact is, it's been here since 2015. Okay, and a year ago, breakaway civilization. Ahead of this, knowing. Okay, and there's a video on here as well where I call a pandemic and I got trolled saying no, germs are bullshit. Yeah, I know, germs. I don't go with that theory. I think they're toxic excretion. Yeah, I know, but that doesn't stop the case. I still called it. And the resets. Did a series, the beaver maketh dams, where beaver technology was copied, and pyramids can indeed keep out water. And there's an installation under the Great Pyramid of Giza, which we've prostrated could have made there. So that could have been for survival as well. I don't think there was one boat. I think there was many survivors around this place. People, there's two types in a reset who survive. Okay, there's them that don't prepare. They don't survive. And then there's them that prepare, which have a good fighting chance and a future, or a chance of a future. So these are the things we've been talking about: is living water, which is magnetizing, vortexing. Double vortexing water is fantastic. We're going to talk about that. If you don't know about it, I'd have watched that, but we will update it. They were looking at floods, nilometer, waiting for this water to come well in advance of the occasion. And if somebody in my comments wanted to know about Fasces, if you watch The Secrets of Fasces in the series 1 till 9, the greatest secrets never to be told, or secret, or in this case the holy grail of info, change the name for that, but it's the synopsis of the entire series if you haven't seen it, guys. Okay, and it's 5 hours long, and that many have still watched it. Okay, it's worth watching. It gives you all the keys to free energy, all the keys to aquatech, and everything to do with the reset, which was talked about basically in our book, which is book 1 of the Flat Earth. Oh, excuse me, I've just gone blank. Holy Grail of our Flat Earth. I'm just looking for. That's a brilliant video as well. If you haven't seen it, Lenient Cooks talks about this place being impossible to be a globe. Just looking for one certain video. There's Fasces if you want to learn about it. Concerning there, 1 year ago, this is actually 2 years ago, and I was talking about reset before, during and after, and circuit board cities nearly 2 years ago. Yeah, I know. Oh, always before our time. And this year I'm going to talk a little bit about advanced knowledge of anatomy in the early period. So let's move on. First bit, reset. We'll talk about some more of that next time. Now other stuff. Okay. Simulation. I've been thinking about this guy. It's the first time I ever thought about simulation, I guess. I've read dozens of books on this subject of simulation, and also holographic principle, etc. But this guy's supposed to be one of the most brainiest people on earth. Is Nick Bostrom. He's sweet, and he's like one of the 100 best thinkers. But he's supported, recommended by Elon Musk, Gates. So he's one of them. Okay, and he's popularized the term superintelligence. It's a hypothetical agent that possesses intelligence far surpasses that of the brightest and most gifted humans. Superintelligence may also refer to the property of problem-solving systems, whether or not a high level of intellectual complacencies are embodied in agents, like in the Matrix. No shit, guys. Look, superintelligence. So what he says is there's an equation where he says that in the future the technology would have been 100% possible to run a simulation at any time, which is probably what's happening. He goes into nanobots technologies there as well. Okay, for example, a goal of calculating phi might collaterally cause nanotechnology manufacturing facilities to sprout over the entire Earth's surface and cover it within a few days. He believes that an existential risk to humanity from superintelligence would be immediate once brought into being, thus creating an exceedingly difficult problem to find out how to control such an entity before it actually exists, the nanobot. And that's just that. And he talks about a lot of, very sinister things to do with AI and what's happening now. And he's a simulationist. He thinks there's definitely a thing. He thinks that we live in a simulation. But he seems highly dodgy. He looks like he's associated with these pedos or whatever. They push their people and that agenda. It's so anti-nature, so evil. Who knew about it? JK knew about it. Dun 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 dun. Off of Jamiroquai, cracking album. I've been listening to JK quite a bit. Jamiroquai are a cracking band, and he wears happy hats because he knows. Okay. Although he's a mad little capitalist, I still dig him. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, what we living in?
Let me tell you. It's a wonder man can eat at all. When things are big, that should be small. Who can tell what magic spells we've been doing for us? And I'm giving all my love to this world, only to be told I can't see, I can't breathe. And no one will be. And nothing's going to change the way we live, because we always take but never give. See, it's a crazy world we're living in, and I can't see. Half of us immersed, I just can't, see that half of us are immersed in sin is all we have to give these. So, future made of virtual insanity. Now it always seems to be governed by this love we have for useless twisting of new technology. And now there will be no sound because we'll all be living underground. I'm thinking what a mess we're living in. This is like, this is in the noughties. This is like really when this shit was just kicking off, and you just called it, we can't breathe. And we're all going to be living underground. They'll do that, they'll call that. They'll say the upper ground has got too many plagues in it, we'll all have to go fucking underground. Now, new subject, anatomy. How is it that in this really early period of 1598 to 1697, they could have such incredible knowledge of human anatomy? Okay, this is in the alchemical period. This is in the homunculus period. So, I've got a couple of documents. I'll give you this one, but it's all in Latin. But this one gives you the most craziest images you've ever seen. Now, I have showed medical books before from an early period, but these ones are fantastic. But what they do is they bring up a lot of questions, like how is this even humanly possible? And I noticed something else as well. The victims, these people are obviously not models, are they? They are people who have been peeled back and all sorts of crazy stuff, and you get some idea that some damage on the bones. These are poor people, these wouldn't be elites. I'm wondering, you look at your body, your biochemical machine, that's all you are is a machine, healing, replicating machine that is subject to everything that happens to you is because of this place. Okay, we're not perfect like the animal kingdom, except for abnormalities through DNA or human interaction and myxomatosis. They tend to be perfect. Humans, however, are fucking deeply flawed. Why have men got nipples? What's the appendix for? 1,000 questions of what is going on with humanity. Our avatars are not right. Okay, they're needy and they're fucked up, and they want shit all the time. So they're doing this, they're peeling people back and they're looking in the past. Some of these are really sinister, but what I'm asking is, what technology? I guess you could have had a really, really talented artist, but how are they peeling back each layer and seeing it? Because to my mind, it's just a bloody sludgy mess. And how would you identify such things as blood vessels, muscles, which you get here, all the muscles of the arm? How? And to be able to draw them to this depth. You see? Muscles. How is it even done? I think they had CT scans in the past. I think they were doing that. I think they had advanced technology to be able to see some of the things we're going to see now. This is obviously study muscles. I guess that can be done just out of the mind, without peeling of any people, and use muscles. So they're taking them out and they're drawing the strands on them when they just look like bloody messes. How is that even possible? Hair follicles. they in 1717. I'll give you the link to this book. You can study yourself. Going into hair follicles. How are they seeing that? Microscopes, I guess. Alright, they had microscopes to that magnification in 1770. So this is your female of that period, apparently. And this is your male of that period, apparently. So, something strange going on with antiquity. What's that up there? Coil. Okay. And bones, vertebra. But what you see on a lot of bones, I see later on, is there's some sort of damage and honeycombing, which sort of suggests poor diet. You've got some simian on there. Is that monkey? So skulls. So I'll move through quickly, get to some of the more interesting ones. How are they drawing these? Blood vessels. Muscles. And it's just like Hellraiser, you know, they're seeing the levels as well. But this is what gets me when they do this. The nerve endings. It goes more extreme, the lungs, the alveoli, etc. I showed stuff like this before with nerve endings, and I had a doctor communicate to me in my email saying, look, like with this with the spinal column. I had one like this with the spinal column. And I had a doctor contact me and said it was completely impossible to be able to pencil draw any spinal column, nerve endings, and tissues. If you brought all this out, it would just be like a spludge. How are they laying it all out and stuff? Especially with the brain segments. This is a CT scan. They're seeing each slither. Yeah? The human mind. Brian. And I can't imagine how they're drawing a spinal column. Lungs. So they see inside the lungs and the hearts as well. Look. And it goes into reproduction organs as well. And I guess these are ovaries. Oh no, they're kidneys maybe, are they? Oh, yeah, we do get them later. And the intestines and these kidneys. Livers, kidneys, and these nerve endings. How are they even possibly seen? So there it is. It's from 1716. Oh, it says 1337 now. And the same as they were doing in the royal autonomies in Britain, where they were, you know, kidnapping victims and using body snatchers of Birkenhead to get their victims to chop them up on the table. 100 years before, they were just chucking the things on the floor for the dogs to eat. But how incredibly talented artists. I think there's another tech going on, especially with the nerve endings. Or just in crazy talented people. Look at this. And not only that, they're like sponges. You take them out of the human body, a blob of human, it just goes spludge. Why are we looking like we're robot? Organic. Start to look machine-like more and more every day. They're drawing in here, the anvil bone is the smallest bone in the human body, but they're managing to see it, and they're managing to draw it. And all the in here. It's incredible. This man had not a very good day. Did they ask him? I wonder what he did wrong. Being poor. Probably said the earth was flat or something like that. Oh, there's not a virus. Ooh, the tongue. So how did they do that, guys? How did they do that? Answers on a postcard, P.O. Box, FEB. Wow. So they got a couple of dogs there who's got cameras in their eyes. So something Lee said the other day in his van vlog was fantastic. Basically, if you think of a movie camera or a cine camera or a projector from the old days, you had this basically film in a brown film in a reel, and then it's put through a projector where it goes in front of a light, yeah, and the light projects it onto a lens, and the lens puts it up, you know, in a dimensional sense on a screen. Well, eye is just like that. The eye has, although it's made 100% of water, so it has the information in it, mostly water, I mean. It has the information in it, and it also has a lens, exactly just like the movie projector. So the light comes in through the lens, the information's in the eyeball, and then it's sent into the brain for interpretation. So they say. So they say, if you're going to go with the way, if you go with their ideas, because they don't really accept consciousness. Suggesting that everything externally is projected, the information's already there, and it's not there at all. Close your eyes, it disappears. The room you're sitting in is in your mind. All of what you see is in your mind. And they're doing these sort of medical experiments in that early period. Look at that for a brain. It's one talented individual, guys. Is that pineal gland, I see? It's one extensive study of the human body. Let's move on. I'll show you some of the more obscure ones. How are they drawing this? And what's this? This is in the human body. It looks like a plant. Yeah, no. Also, no mistake. That's not a tree. That's not a tree. And that is not a tree, okay? They're not trees, and that's not a plant. Although, they look exactly like plants and trees. That's lungs and alveoli. And they look exactly like trees. Exactly. And what do these do? They're supposed to be lungs of the earth, aren't they, the trees? No goinky dink there. See how closely we're connected? What then? How are they drawing them? You can't draw nerve endings. It's impossible. Even in this day, it would be impossible without some computer technology. This is not possible. This is not humanly possible. In 1733, understanding what we think, what they tell us about these people. This is advanced. But yeah, they're really sinister. They peel babies. It's a little girl, and they've done that. But look at her brain. Look at her head. Is she human, or is she just a freak of nature? She's got eyes like that other conehead. Or like, you know, sort of swollen. So yeah, that's like a freak baby girl, and that's another conehead maybe, or some sort of freak. And they're looking inside. That's a baby boy. Some sort of, it's weird. It's like a scroll pinned down. Weird. Some more lung tissue. Look at this stuff, guys. It's weird how it's just like trees. And he's like an old man, this baby. So what's going on? Oh. Now, the umbilical cord. Now, we're born in a solution, embryonic solution, which is fluid, which is full of information. So we're getting the information fed. And the umbilical cord connects us to our mother for what they say, feeding, etc. And it's a cord. Chord, like a string on a guitar. A chord is playing a chord. So this is our vibrational connection with our parent, our mother. We have an invisible umbilical cord when we astral project. Silver line. Look at this. So, what the hell is going on with humanity? This looks the weirdest stuff ever, especially birth. Starting to look really like very, very machine and you know, if you can just think the machines are not just metal and nuts and bolts and they're bioorganic, then I would say this is a highly advanced biomechanical android. Really. So there's the insides of the people. They take each organ out and they get every single blood cell, every single thing on it. I think that's probably what I think it is. Vagina, ovaries, maybe, yeah. Yeah. Ovaries. I think I'm right there. Yeah. And other bits. So I think that might be a clit. A little man. Boom. Sorry, they do penises too, look. Did you know, right, the comb on the outside of the penis here is called the corona? Did you know that? Yeah, it's called the crown or the corona. So, all of this is inside the knobbler. And that's the bollocks. God, it's fucking disgusting, isn't it? Okay, more shaftage. So I don't know if there's actually an anatomical name for this slit. Yeah, I thought it's just universally called the Japa. I could be wrong. No, might have a name. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I'm sticking with that anyway. And there's a peeled dick. That's horrible.
It's like, I could fly.
That's horrible, isn't it? Look at that. There's all that going on. Wow. Shit. So, like I said, you don't always get like a lot of penises or anything on my vlogs. It happens accidentally. This is in a scientific, grow up. Grow up. It's my children. What's the matter with you? Stop laughing. That one's got a bit of holes going on. I think it's caught something. Oh. They got like I suppose a smorgasbord of penises there, all different sizes.
All of that is in a knob. Fucking hell.
You having a giraffe in you? What's that? I ain't got one of them. That's a pumpkin. Got 2 tubes. One for pee, one for love pee. What's the other one for? What's all this going on?
Fucking hell.
I didn't know about your own body. Did you know all that? I never. God, how much have you learned in this post, guys? I bet you're feeling really educated now, aren't you? So we won't spend too much time looking at bits of the body. You get the idea. They can't humanly do this. There's something else seriously going on. And they're really cruel with animals and freak babies in that period. No regard. Goes into intestines. Look at this.
That's like an alien. That's in your body.
That is. That looks quite scary. That's a hat. It's probably tourist field. Okay. And the nerve endings. This is where it gets strange. They're managing to do all of the nerve endings. Try taking them out of the human body and seeing them. It's impossible. Each grade, look. Blood vessels as well. Blood vessels feeding. Capillaries just like a tree. Exactly like a tree. Exactly like a tree. Holy fuck. The veins are incredible, aren't they? But they turn to spludge as well when you take them out of the human body. What they do, take them out and lay them all out on the fucking table for you to see and take photographs, or have someone standing there drawing it. It just doesn't seem realistic. Look at this. I'm not buying it. It's just weird. So yeah, I've been posting a few of these over the years. I do like anatomical books. It's weird. Nerve endings. Also completely impossible to pull out of a human body. And another one of these freak... it might not be a freak. It might have been a nice baby. Not that the freaks are not nice babies. They are. I just, just saying. The crown never heals. So the baby. Why are they showing the back? Oh, there's the front. Ugh. You got teeth. So it never healed. So it's a newborn. That is cruel. Aww. So they collect human babies and make little models of them. Look, I've got 2 little babies. I'm a big baby with a little baby thing going on. This one, probably with a bit of human. 3 balls. So I kind of, substantiate whether they did this like cult thing going on. There was the cult of skulls, the skull cults in the Middle Ages. So I know about them. We talked about them, but for some reason, just look at him. All evil.
I'm doing a little teapot.
At the end, somebody put their hand on his side like that, and he's got the other one going down like that, so he looks totally gay. Yeah?
And these are little ones.
Open for interpretation, but I would say they got these human. I would say they just made models out of like weird freaks and stuff, or them aliens. Maybe them Hinged Darrens, who even knows. And there's porous bits in here, so this person had damp feet. Some of the bones are porous. This is from poor nutrition and infection. These are poor people's bones. And they do this, look, skull and crossbones, or crossbones. This one's a bit healthier. The knee ball. So these are basically like batteries, aren't they? Because they're sealed, and you have marrow in them, and they have electrical forces. These are batteries, and they're more so probably crossed. And on the fingers, a weird thing as well. Did you know, right? I don't want to freak you out. My son brought this to my attention the other day, talking about finger digits, right? Got like 1, 2, 3, yeah? Bends 3 times my finger. Your thumb only got 2.
Don't even bend 3 times, guys. Look, do it. I know, it's horrible, isn't it?
I don't like anything to talk about the human body. I'm going to get off this anyway. I'm feeling a bit. Okay? Don't be one eating or anything. There are some nastier ones to come as well. I'll give you the fucking book. Look at it for yourself. It's sick. It's weird. But to my mind, completely impossible also. What's going on? Can't even imagine. So I'll share that book with you. There's like 150 odd pictures, 200 even to go through. Can't go through them all. So I think this is a psyop as well. Now on my map up on the wall by there, it's got Kingis Tartars and the border of Tartaria and all of Asia is Tartaria. So it's Kingis. Okay, it was Kengis. So it's Kingis Khan. Now they say upon his death he asked to be buried in secret. Now I think this is them, the Phoenicians, making sure that no one ever fucking finds Temujin or Genghis. A grieving army carried his body home, killing anyone who they met to hide the route. So let's put this in perspective. They carried him across Asia, steppe, okay? And anyone who set eyes on this procession, they murdered. So they could potentially kill like millions of people just for setting eyes on the route itself. When the emperor was finally laid to rest, his soldiers rode 1,000 horses over the grave to destroy any trace. And in 800 years since Genghis Khan's death, no one has found the tomb. But they have some ideas of saying like there's different tombs. This one here is thought to be him. There's a giant column inside. I think that's highly interesting. This column. But yeah, they killed anyone who set eyes on his burial procession or himself. And another thing I found as well with the Tartarians, okay, is they're carrying and his soldiers murdering everyone, as you see in this image, right? These people are supposed to be on the steppe, yeah, of grassy lands forever, okay, living in huts, yeah, yet they got these fine silks and stuff, so really nice clothes, so they got industry going on, like textile mills and stuff, and they got green trees, which are not really in the Gobi Desert as far as I know anymore. So this is like green and really pleasant. The whole place is completely different. So yeah, just a bit of interesting info. I think it's a side. I think it's them getting rid of him and killing anyone who's going to tell us where he may lay. That's an interesting side. So yeah, they tried to find him. I find it intriguing that his relative Kublai Khan did decree pleasure dome erect, and we're living in a dome. Could it be that Kublai Khan ordered the building of this we're in? And there's a giant statue there of a tomb of him in the middle of the grasslands that they made all these beautiful silks, and managed to have incredible technologies and everything else, all from the steppe. That's interesting, isn't it? It's a pyramid. And there's this memorial there for Genghis Khan. Interesting place. I was looking at Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia, on Google Earth yesterday. The place is full of skyscrapers. Fucking looks like anywhere. So other stuff, images of the day, and other curio pictures, and This will be up later tonight on the 13th of August 2020 or so, they say. Let me have a drink. So I'm going to be here next month. Conventions are starting to kick off. I'm afraid I haven't heard nothing about the Tatarian convention in Italy for obvious reasons. It was supposed to be in 5 days' time. So I guess I'm not going to be going there. And if they do open the borders, that might still happen. But we'll see. They're sort of predictably programming us into... It's just a fucking nightmare coming for us, guys. We've got to do something about it. Well, everyone in the world should stand up, get in the streets and tell them to go and get fucked, is what should be happening. It's going to be too late to cry later. Are you going to complain to the government? Complain to the government, see how they care. Go on. Guys, we got to look after ourselves. And I'm not the only one that can see. If you think that, everyone can see this that I know of, guys, okay? It's clear to me. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a convention in Birmingham. It's a nice little venue. These guys, Truth Juice, been going about 10 years or more. They've had loads of good guests. Mark Devlin's on 2 days before me. They've had people like Santos Bonacci in the past, other people. Great speakers in the past. So that's on the 15th of September. So just over a month's time, 4 weeks' time. I'll be talking about Tatari and Mud Flood. Okay. So that'll be really interesting. I'll give you the link. It's only £5 for admission and £3 concessions on the door for the juice. Okay, guys. So I don't know many people that can take that, but it might be an excuse for some FEB peeps to meet up. I'm looking for an excuse to get us all together for a meet up. Actually, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Images. We're going to look at some basically Greenland and Newfoundland from 1894 to 1895. Somebody went there and done a beautiful bit of photography of said area. First thing you notice is some of them in Newfoundland, like this. They have some sort of turret here, which looks like a machine gun or cannon turret, but it's in 1893, so I don't know what it's doing there. And this city, what you're seeing here, is Newfoundland St. John's, not Alaska yet. They sailed from there, and this city was completely destroyed and looks a bit like San Francisco. We've showed it a few times. I posted about this St. John's and the other St. John's one's in Halifax and one's in Nova Scotia, and I've posted both of them. Both of them were destroyed by fire. But this is supposed to be in 1893, and what you get is this amazing big city. I used to get a lot of calls from St. John's. My father, he was a ship's captain, used to call me ship to shore, and they used to say, there was a woman saying, would you accept a call from, and you go beep 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 beep, St. John's, Newfoundland. So these people are indigenous to Alaska and this area, and they are very Tatarian looking, except he's not. He's looking Irish. She's looking like she's from the steppe. Could be Alaskan, could be Native American, could be Inuit. It's just that look. And look at St. John's, mud flooded. But again, this beautiful Tatarian city, all the way up there. Look at the size of these buildings, all this mud as well. You see anything being built? No, you never ever do. You never ever do in these photographs. They're supposed to be built in all the world at this period of, 1890s. Yeah, what you don't see is anything ever being fucking built. It's just there. Same as San Francisco. No, just never seen anything built. It's just there. So here's some guys from Newfoundland. He's got one eye. Yeah, found in accident. Don't want to talk about it. And collecting fish. So I'm guessing they eat really well and they're really healthy up there. So they have icebergs floating around. That looks a bit blue with a black and white photo. Am I wrong? So they're pretty dangerous, especially if you're in a ship and you hit one. And these rocks on this ground here, it's a really unusual feature. You see a lot of that in Scotland. This looks like Scotland. So there's a Danish flag, Danish settlement in Greenland, which is Greek. They live in mud huts. I'd love to live in there. That's safe. That's warm. I bet winters are pretty harsh. This looks like it might be an old mining operation. And here's some of the civilians. They look Danish. I like these funky fucking clothes. They're wicked. They look healthy. They look really alright. They really do. But look at this for peat piled up for insulation. I bet it's beautifully warm in there. More peat blocks for heat, for fuel. Burn them. They're everywhere. Unusual people looking, but that's here for Greenland population. Related to Danes, they got a rather expansive graveyard, so at least seems a lot of people died. And they made all of that wrought iron for their graveyard in the middle of nowhere. God, they even got to harness the bones. And this strange solidified statue, maybe. And this ship was what done the voyage. Look at these mountains. But nice and hot, I guess, in the summer months. But she got caught in the snow. They're having a nice little woolly wolf out. They got some electric on that ship. Wow, these look fantastic, these Inuit. Happy, smiling. Ah, look at him laughing. Do you know what? They look healthy and happy, and they live there. So, they got little towns in Greenland. Mud-flooded little Danish-looking thing. Strange rocky outcrops, though, isn't it? Yeah, they discovered the first thing they called it was Greenland because it was all white. So obviously it was all green and highly populated. Something's happened since. I'm guessing she's assimilating it. Like, obviously she's had her hair cut and she's not happy about it, and she's not really Brit, is she? They've stuck a Brit dress on her. That's not her, you know, native clothes. She's one of these people that's just been assimilated into the Phoenician collective vilely. That's what she should look like. Well, she don't look too happy. And here's your Danes occupying the ship. I'm sure they were fine. And an Alaskan lady with a strange hat on. Strange happy hat. Lovely. Love this jumper. Love this style. I'd wear one of them jumpers. They wear them in ski lodges, don't they? Where they have sunglasses, drink schnapps. Them ones. Yeah, here's the I like it, a human interest. See who they are. Some of them are European looking. Him. Some of them are maybe Japanese looking. British. God, they are a mix, aren't they? Well, I guess just Danes mixing in with the natives. They're getting on absolutely smashing. It's absolutely great to see. Nice little church thing. But it's not a device. That's actually later built for people to be doing coding stuff. So they're nice pictures. I'll give you the book. You can study them yourself a bit later. Of a place you never really think about, but it is there. And you've got some structures there, big ones, in Alaska. Okay, not tremendous population and know little about it. 110 shots of Greenland. But I'll give you the book. You can look for them yourself because there's too much to get through. I need to get on. Instagram is somewhere I'm really busy. I don't know. I'll give you the link. Okay, I've only been on it a month or 3. And I do daily sort of vlogages where I piss around. Or tell you what's going on. Or have a little moan. If I... Sometimes. Like... oh, they copyrighted me. And I'm exempt from wearing bullshit face masks. And there's been my ones this week. Yesterday was the hottest day ever. And I seen a yellow slug on the wall yesterday. It was highly freaky. I'm not sure what we were doing in that one.
Oi, Flat British, with Welsh Dragon Metal. Say hello, Lawrence Lee Kerr, Welsh dragon metal. Happy Tuesday, peeps.
Thanks Karen Dirt, thanks Antiquity Terry for there, I see you in my comments. So you can collect images off you, get some fantastic images on there. I'll show you some of these now in a minute on Instagram. And I collect some of all the guys on there, the Tatarians on there, and some of Azad on my Facebook, but Facebook's gone to shit, I don't know what's happened, not happy with it. So there's my last post. Labyrinths and a Medusa machine head over 8 days ago. So make sure to subscribe, okay? And watch that one if you haven't, and make sure to subscribe to this where we'll be going live. That's nearly 10,000, 70 odd subscribers, maybe the next day or so. I'm going to be doing flatter days and a show on there, but I've got enough here to do a completely new vlog, so I'll do an extra and I'll put it up on there for Saturday. Okay guys, it's only Thursday today. And if you don't know, Flat Earth British website, okay, for all the information, photo drop entrance, got a shop, video concerning book, Holy Grail of Flat Earth, book 2 coming shortly, everything here to support me, PayPal to support me, Patreon. I had been on to Patreon twice, spoke to the guy, he says that a load of my patrons, I did have 42, I still got 42, but he said most of them, like 80%, have stopped being Patreons, he's saying, and I can't get the money, I've lost 2 months of it, and that was paying my rent, so that's shit. And this is what we're doing. Mudflood, Antiquitech, Mudflood, Tataria, the Firmament, Comets, Fasces, Staffords, Shapes, Antiquitech, Technasmia, Airships, Maps, Giants, World's Fairs, Science, Words, Art, Architecture, Resets, Fireplace, and Aquatech, Weather. Brilliant thunderstorms last night, by the way. Absolutely brilliant. Resources, click that. Hundreds of books, nay, thousands of books you can get there. 15,000 Vatican Archive releases. And my son, Welsh Dragon Metals, who's absolutely doing a brilliant job on basically making jewellery at the moment. Check it out. Shiny things, ladies. Shiny things. Shiny things that glisten. It's like chocolate. Chocolatier. You know, just, ladies, I have chocolate. I have shinies. That sort of thing. So check my son out, okay? I know. So this video got sent to me by my friend our man in San Fran. Okay, we got people everywhere. But our man, our brother, Poppy in San Fran. And he had this sent to him. This is in Minnesota. Now I shared this on Facebook, okay, and it is just everywhere. I mean, on my Facebook, so many thousands have watched this and shared everywhere. This is trippy. What is going on? They saying a riot. I'm thinking something else has fucking happened. Okay, not just looters. These people are numb with shock. Whatever's passed through here was hell. This is in Minnesota. Terry's telling me it's the same sort of things parts of San Francisco, Portland, and other cities. You will not see this in the news. They won't tell you about this. This is the truth. This is what's going on. Okay, take a look. Just to put things into perspective, you know, this is an American city. Now that's going to be everywhere. Then make sure. Where till the food goes. Where do you think all your food's coming from, guys? Yeah, it's all just ticking over and everyone's going to work. Everything's just ticking over. All them businesses are still going. Alright. Even the milk tastes 3D printed. Something going on with the food, guys, and they're going to pull a plug on it. The food's fucking weird. There's something wrong with it. Weird. It just tastes funny. All the food's weird, guys. There's something wrong with it all. It's not just me noticing. Other people have said it to me as well. What's going on with the food? So I don't know. It's shown up. It's packed everywhere. Same food, every shop. Nah, man. So that's spooky. So yeah, I've posted that out there. If I get more of them, I'll put them up because that's really important stuff. You know, people should see that. The news will not show you what's really going on. Well, we're going to have some look at some maps and images of the day. Get on for 20 past 5 my time. This will be up tonight. Because I do like old matches, Old maps. Excuse me. So what you're looking at here is a great Chinese map, but it's showing the after effects of the biblical flood, or the flood. So this is Africa, full of water. I'm guessing this is India, and all of Europe, just water, water everywhere. Southeast Asia, water, and this giant landmass just coming up again to Borneo. I don't know if this is Australia included in it. I don't know. And these islands here as well. Where are they? The Amazon's there, and America again. Same thing going on. The Great Lakes separated into three land masses. One by the Missouri River, California. So even the Chinese were mapping this. I'm afraid this might be Japanese. Japanese are mapping this. And here's a European map. Just craziness. I'm not sure what's going on as well. Middle Ages. Shows Britain. Badly cartographied because it doesn't look like that at all. And Europe, look. Just towers, massive cities, and it's all skyscrapers. And for some reason, Denmark, sure, this is supposed to be Scandinavia. Scania. Norway, everything's been turned around. Everything else is straight except for Scandinavia. They've turned it west to east, east to west. Why would they do that? That's this partly upside down map. And what's this gold everywhere? And what's all this land up there then? Belgian Alps. Hang on a minute. So this is north of us, Scandinavia. So north of the Arctic, north of Scandinavia, north of Lapland, they have land. Alps and Belgium. Upper Serbia. Vielleicht. I can't see the other one. Unless it's Asia going around that way, but there's... What mountains would they be? So the Alps, obviously, because they're down here, off the map. So, very peculiar, but I would say they're showing the Hyperborean and lands like they're just supposed to be 3 days north of us, as close as that. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Double-headed eagle. And these things, these compass points, I got a book of them. There's more going on with them. I think they're portal markers. And Tartaria, so this is the east of Tartaria, excuse me, yeah, the east coast of Tartaria, Argon, okay. And these Q words, this Quiveria, and there's a definite clue with the Tartarians in the Q letter. It's part of it, but only this little straits between that and America, and they're the same colour on most maps. So if this is Tartaria, I think that they're actually showing you America as here is Tartaria, because it's on the Tartarian map. So it shows that a lot of America, this even Axa, this city, Tartarian city, is America. Here's a very old map of by Johannes Rubens, an old map of Rome, circuit board city. Talking about them for quite some time. You've got these enclosures which are called hippodromes. They have obelisks all the way in the middle of them. They're everywhere. One here, and the narrative is, oh, they collected obelisks from conquests. Well, they might very well have done that, but what are the obelisks? They're part of technology, and I'll show you now. So here we go again. All of America, and the sliver behind it, it's water, just a sliver. All of America, a sliver. I just get the East Coast, but these are beautiful artworks behind there. Excuse me. Just like that last one, they do beautiful artworks on these. Oh. Anyway, moving on. That's not very clear, excuse me. And again, Rome, and in this period, okay, in this map, which is a Phoenician map, a lead atlas, 1733. Phoenicians, that same Phoenician godhead woman with the
toroidals on our years that we always keep seeing. Rome is a star fort. Giant star fort. At this period, 1733. Star fort. Definitely technologies. All connected with the computer. And as we've shown before, this is a map of Barbaria, which is a big part of my life now. Never would have thought it. I like to think of myself as a barbarian anyway. I do. And apparently, I don't know whether they keep out warning signs, but you got the Medusa. So that's electromagnetic charge, fiery swords, demons, and the Grim Reaper. Inlands below us, which we see quite a bit, as well as Island California, the mining operation. I think these are man-made lakes, the Great Lakes, and Azimuth distant, nothing in the middle. But like I said, guys, they move most of the population into this round bit in the middle. That's where most of everybody is. You'll find most people in the northern hemisphere anyway, guys. Yeah, most people are above the equator. You go to the south equator, well, this is populated and that, but the juice is up here. All of America, all of Europe, and all of Asia is all up here. That's where all of the people are. Because, you know, down here you got Australia, South America, South Africa. It's just really remote, huge, large remote areas. And this is a fantastic map. This is really old, this one. This is from 1506. Excellent bit of cartography by Giovanni Matti Contanini. And it's fantastic. It shows India's not connected yet because the water's not receded. Enough to connect it to the mainland. That cannot be Sri Lanka, Ceylon, because where is India? There's no definition or shape. These are the Ganges. So I think that is India. And actually it says Scythians there. It's not too much happening with Tartaria, can't see. But it's a strange dialect on this 15th century map. Britain. Anything up in the north? The pencil adjectives. Maybe something to do with the dates. That's what I looked on here. It says 1490, 1506. It's date alterations here. And 1586, and it's crossed out there. 3 dates. And what does it say underneath? JOO. Excuse me. I506. No, that's just a pencil mark. It said 506 and they put 1506. They put 506 and they've crossed it out and added a 1. Can you see that? They should have added 1,000 years, guys. Sweet. Swahit. Sweet. And Friesland. And this Islandia. This is island that keeps disappearing. It's not there, but it's on plenty of these maps. Actually, it's Friesland. And all you get these days is Faroe Islands. The rest seem to disappear. You even get this, Esteland. So, like, north of Britain was populated in huge land masses. And now all you've got is little tiny Iceland. And this one as well, this is a Stero land. We've posted about that just on loads of maps, not there in the modern day. And same again with Antarctica. First map focus on Australia. Show dragons. It says Salmon there. Solomon Islands. Oh yeah, Solomon Island. Solomon Island's named after Solomon. This map shows all of it up there, look. All of the land. Hyperborea. The mountain ranges around it. The river deltas from the 4 continents. All there on that map. Very peculiar America. maybe the mining operation is the Great Lakes is just kicking off, because it's not there yet. Neither's the Hudson Bay. What was all this? I couldn't even tell you. And all that down there, I couldn't even tell you. But what we do get is a map of Mercator's Hyperborean there. Just there, as far as I'm concerned. Also on this map. Okay, this is Universe and the Earth. I actually got a full book on this map. As incredible as it sounds, I have. So you get Antarctica full of beasts, etc. And again, all these lands above. And America's freaky as shit. Don't know what's going on with it. Regino. Tower Man Regino. This is sort of royal, isn't it? This is to do with the Queen. Regina. Queen. Queen, no Queen. Queen, no. Anyway, what's the interpretation? What they do show above there, okay, is a purgatory. Okay, with people suffering, but also this thing here I found freaky. It was like an aerial, and it's got like a wire going all the way around. Does anybody in Britain folded a £20 note when you get like, you know, a 5G tower projecting beams out of the Queen's eye? Nobody asks any questions. Nothing sinister going on there whatsoever. And yeah, you get purgatory. It shows you the firmament, the layers, the stars in it. And there's this land up here. Look. Africa, Asia. Is there another Earth? Is there a copy of this? Are we looking at the photos of another copy, another Earth? Why build one when you can build two? It would make so much sense of everything if it was two Earths and they had another one. This was a poor replica. And the pictures we're looking at of the other Earth. Some of them that make no sense and all the anomalies. Look at this. I think gardens, like in Versailles, are all on computer sort of technologies. You know, plants, animals. It's electroculture. You can stimulate plant growth using electromagnetics. So, show you some images of the day. I'm going to be checking out. It's been awesome to see you guys. It's been a week, but like I said, if you want to catch up with me, Flat Earth British Think Tank channel, I do live things, and my Instagram. Okay, so I'm busy, I'm here. A few of you get worried, I've noticed, and man, is everything okay? Yes, everything is absolutely fantastic. Just need to get this on, okay? Got a lot going on. Now, I spoke to John Levy yesterday. We're going to have a call when he can get it together in the next day or so. So, send our love to John Levy. Okay, we love John Levy, and tell him mentally, psychically, to get his shit together and let's get Barbaria on. Okay, because John is definitely supportive of this, and he's got a lot of people watches him, and he's going to push this too, and I am, and we're going to see, okay, how many people we can actually save. We can save, so far, this potential of, I don't even know, maybe 100 people, but tens of thousands, millions. Okay, what are they going to do? What would they be able to do if everyone hit the streets? Okay, they're going to do, send the army in to murder us all. They're doing that anyway, aren't they, on the slow kill? They want everyone to get ill by wearing masks and get strangled if you don't. Yeah, they got fucking nuts, guys. I'm seeing a horror stories. Not really got anything to substantiate that with, because I go with my personal experience, videos you can't believe. But I've still got people acting weird and shit out there. It's scary. It's just scary. You're all getting it. You're all feeling it. And it's accelerating. It's getting quicker, which is why I'm, you know, hurrying it up. So you've got homunculus flask here, and you have the Statue of Liberty, and she's a serpent being, but I'd say aquatic, and she just chopped a couple of dudes' heads off. She's collecting something out of their heads. Is she collecting the juice, or is she collecting the spinal column fluid, or is she collecting adrenochrome? That'd be further down. Still spinal column juice. Has she got a vessel? Is she collecting stuff out of their heads? I would say yes. What's this sun attached to it? So there's your Statue of Liberty anyway. That's her. That's what she gets up to when she's not watching over New York City. So yeah, this is what they've been doing in the past. Now, I notice a lot of things about the this bullshit narrative of movies, plays and televisions and books. This is all like, you know, from 1919 and earlier, okay, around the early 1900s, where you got all these epidemics, but you'll never see anything about that in any movie ever, do you, guys? You know, do you see them like in masks on Charlie Chaplin or other films of that period? Nothing about it. You never hear anything about any of this happening yet. It's out there. They went nuts on us before. 110 San Francisco's arrests for masked slackers. Okay, people are not wearing masks for their influenza, and that was, you know, turn of the century again. Wherever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect, says Mark Twain. I would never go with the flow. This was sent in to me a couple of nights ago by Lee Flat Earth British Sub. Got very excited about this when he thinks radium is actually used as a heat source in the past, and I think it could be as well. This is exactly like a radiation thing. These could be radium heaters. I think this could have been a thing in the past. The mystery of radium remains unsolved, and no one has yet been able to ascertain whether it gets the energy it continuously radiates as heat, light rays, and such astonishing penetrating power. When King Edward and Queen Alexandra visited the London hospital recently, a pile of 6 pennies was placed on the top for a minute, and the radium and the light was visible through the coins. So, I think that was a technology, definitely. They had radium heaters, guys, and that's what was going on. Radiated heat, and why not? Why not? I don't think radiation is anywhere near as bad as they say, because they're saying it gives you cancers, and that's a psyop. That's something else. This is another Tatarian grave apparently, but this is one that was thought to be Temujin, Genghis Khan, excuse me. Big plates, and he's just chucked gold coins in everywhere. I don't think that's for monetary. I think the gold coins are actually a tech, something to do with the avatar post, basically getting on the game. These are sapphloids, and they, if this is not trick photography, which it might be, they existed within the time of photography, but these are all over the Middle Ages. Sapphloids they stamp their foot and they caught a kinetic wave which could knock people over, and they're all over the antique world. This is Bologna in antiquity, and it is Manhattan. Bologna in antiquity was Manhattan. It was skyscrapers to hell. That high. Posted many times about skyscraper cities if you look on the Italian channel, and these I've got in a picture exactly same things. These flutes, these are flutes in our chemical booklet or a Kirshner book, and they show that these are giving off tunes, music, and these are a technology, a fluting technology. Okay guys, these are giving off sound. The entire street is devoted to this. This is a technology. Chimneys and these fluters, it's a technology, part of the computer. And the giants that went before us, there's no point, you know, saying, oh well, this is just for a normal person, because the lock's up there. No, there's no point. So they're big people when the doors were put in. So the Americans, we don't blame the Americans solely, it's just all of them. Okay, the Phoenicians. Okay, they're all on the same side, no matter what country they're in. So I'm not throwing any distinctions. So Iraq before, Iraq after. Libya before, Libya after. The Americans. And the British, and the French. They all bomb shit out of these places. Yemen before, Yemen after. I bet you that's all still there, and that's not that street. Syria before, Syria after. Although Damascus looks pretty alright on Google Earth. I've looked myself. Some cities don't. Mosul don't look so good. And is this the same face of the one that's up there now? Because this is looking distinctively like a dude. Okay, statue dude, bitty. I think they've done this on purpose. I would for just for a laugh. Cock flavoured noodle soup, just to be able to say it. It's like, well, what are you eating? I'm eating cock soup, cock flavoured soup.
Do you like it? Yeah, not really. So, antiquitech used in the past. And I think that might say Taria. See there? Taria. But Greco-Romano columns, wrought iron columns, heat sinks. These things as well, part of the technology. Very modern looking, this one. But antiquitech. Antiquitech. Everywhere. And alternative energy fireplaces. We've come along leaps and bounds with these now. We've got loads of, these plates heated as well. They're steam powered behind them, and heat it up. Anderons as well, probably free energy. They could be doing a lot of different things. Okay, this is a technology ununderstood by us. Fleur-de-lis. Fleur-de-lis. Fleur-de-lis, anine. Fleur-de-lis. That's a clue to what is running it. Fleur-de-lis. Anyway, wow, look at all those satellites passing in front of the moon. So no one in history ever said, never ever will. There's supposed to be tens of thousands up there flying around apparently, or whatever. And some of the creatures of the antiquity world, and their names: Anon, Alaster. They're all demons, but electrical forces. This one is BL, and I've got this in a set of depictions for 1814. You reset you. Behemoth. So I think they're all demon names. Azazel, oh they are. That's a demon, Azazel. Azeroth, Azami. So they're electrical forces basically, and they show you they are too, because they're serpents, wings open. They're electrical forces. That one's peacocked. Malach, Adramalach, that's like Malach. What it is. So peacock. So this is in America. It looks like it's an old star-forted system. Somebody sent me a photograph. Can't tell you the city, but that's part of an old star-fort. Can't give it the age, but it looks really, really old. And relatively high up as well, as bracken on it. In my house there's a picture on the wall. Rastafari sit up on his throne. Check out the silks on Haile Selassie, who used to suffer stigmata. Can't see any holes in his hand just there. But yeah, he met JFK. They took him to New York. He had a massive procession. Silks and I suppose imperialism, etc. One of those players. Iron like a Zion. Don't remember any massive truths coming up, except for consciousness and who we are. Signature pattern for vibration, signature pattern for discharge. Check it out. Now, 2 secs. So I just shouted my son, and this is the stuff he's sort of making. It's beautiful, beautiful jewellery, gold jewellery he's making, and that is weighty. Okay, it's copper, but it's gold, dipped in gold, like our gold. I ordered a bag of iron filings, okay, and I got magnets and some crocodile clips, and I got a steel plate. I'm going to connect it up to some sounds, vibrations. I'm going to do a somatics experiment live on Flat Earth British. So I don't know if that's Quicksilver, the desert, the brain, synapses as well, electrical discharge, or vibration. And the signature of discharge is what we see everywhere. Lightning. I've done a photographed a lightning storm last night. Trees. No lungs there though. Litchfield marks. I don't know if that's hairs, and that's blood vessels, and brain synapses. No coinky dink. And the electrified, insane, beautiful golden era. So a bit of slavedom going on. He's like, you're my bitch. I don't like that actually. I don't like that at all. That guy's got that club. He's gonna club his head in, but he's like. And why they got bars on windows? I was going to do a vlog on that on its own. I had some ideas of why they got bars on windows. See these metal as well? What would they have held? Yeah, the metal's part of the technology. Look at this in the middle of nowhere. What it does? There's a Greco-Romano arch and got a big massive top on it. Tech. See the tech? Tech. Beautiful inlays. It's on top of a Greco-Romano arch.
Maybe they all had them. Alright, it can give you a bit of shade, but what the tech on top for? Decoration? No, it's tech. It's antiquity tech. Right. You may be more Welsh than you actually knew. This was on my Facebook a day or so ago. I posted it everywhere, so excited. I'm Welsh, right, from here, Cardiff. But it says here, you know, that Scots were in Ireland and Scotland. So Scots were Ireland and Scotland. Okay, the pics. And most of England, okay, at this period, was Welsh. You're Welsh. Okay, it's only like half of London, a bit of London, Kent, Essex, East Anglia, Humberside, up to the Welsh borders, you know, Berwick, etc. There was actually English or Phoenicians. I'm guessing this is the invasion force, and they came this way. We had our last stand. They call them the Romans, but they're the Phoenicians. But, you know, Boudica, or Boudicca, she's going to raise an army and she's going to batter shit out of the Phoenicians. Okay, so the story goes. Damnon for Cornwall. Demetia for South Wales. Gwynedd, that's still there. And Strathclyde, she's still there. Strathclyde, guys, you're Welsh. It's on this map. How do you feel now? Yeah, you're fantastic because you're Welsh. Don't knock it. I'm Welsh, it's brilliant. This is a Tatarian building in Peking, and it's regarded as a Tatarian building. It's massive because it's for giants. And there's strange windows with no windows because the Phoenicians built the windows. We didn't need them before then. I don't think we even had winters. Probably never even had night time. I think night time is darkness, evil. I think it's them. This is Texas, where they are touching up the dome, which is really old, and this Greco-Romano thing, this tower in the background in Texas, and they're showing you Phoenician with apparently a communist star. So, this was actually an active film, but this is some sort of chasm, and these look like they are man-made, not bauxite. I think it's man-made. And look at this Tatarian building, red brick. Stairs up in the air, antiquitech. I don't know what the tower is, but it's fantastic. Nice. I'd like to visit that. And another beautiful top-heavy Tatarian building with Phoenician adaptations later. All of the tech on top, not for decoration, because no bastard's ever going to see them. All this is the technology. Your balloon come in, you stepped out, you went down, done this, demagnetized, probably went to a health invigorating water session by you. But the buildings are massive. There are hundreds and hundreds of people, and the population's not there at that time. This is old world, when there was trillions of us. Left over, tarted up. When there was trillions of us. Water. Magnetized. And look at this for a building in America. It's got a Greco-Romano temple on the bottom. But again, heat sinks. See? And they're always on the corner. Like this. Part of the system. As are these. Beautiful little. That's got vandalism on it. Something crew. Oh, it's in the 1970s. Football hooligans. This is San Francisco. A beautiful colour shot before the earthquake. Look how beautiful it was. There's only a few ghosts. No one around really. Size these buildings. San Francisco. And that was the world 150 years ago. And look at that there, guys. There's no just steel in there. Electric lights. Absolutely beautiful. Imagine having lamps like that in this day and age. Beautiful. And somebody bought my book, and they sat on a beach looking at my book. Isn't that nice? I know. I thought it was a fantastic shot. So I'll put a link if you want to pick up the book. There's going to be book 2 out. It's been advertised on the Bewley website. I don't know, something banging loudly here. Right, the movement of sick people. Tyranny is when you restrict, but basically it says healthy people into you, and he's guarding his door because he's not having no more of this bullshit. Come and get me, because they want to make you ill. And an artist with me in mind sent me this. A guy, I can't remember your name. I'm very sorry. This is super fantastic. Sent me this with me in mind. You get the reset ball. And the sperm monsters. And the open wings. Active charge. For the resetting ball. Timogen's funeral. Anyone who spotted him got chopped up and killed. That's apparently him. I doubt it. I think it'd be more ostentatious. And light. Now this is a sinister picture. I've been decoding this. This is apparently Jesuits being enlightened. Okay, Jesuits. You got these faces in these. Let me bring this up closer. Because there's some good clues in this. Excuse me. Cluage. So light. Remember I said about parabolum and the reflection. You know, this whole projection idea. But again, the silver pyramid coming in through some anomalous wall. Hits this priest guy in the chest. It separates out into some spectrum that's holded by some sort of, you know, Cherubinowskis, and separated out into each heart of each of these. The Enlightenment. The Enlightenment. So, these separating it out for each person, this is a clue, you know, it's almost like there's a medium. You know, from the projection that comes through the projector, a medium. Just like in a movie. I'm wondering if this movie was actually black and white at some stage and it all went colour in the 60s maybe. Who would even know? Maybe at the time of the film The Wizard of Oz, because it starts in black and white and then it goes colour. Maybe during the filming of that the whole world went colour. And the wobbly columns for the Phoenicians. So I think it's a clue. I think it's a clue to this illumination. And somebody sent me this in from Antiquity. Thank you very, very much. Apparently, she has a red armband. She hasn't got it on that high. It's like a communicator, if you like. She only got on the one hand. And some pictures of San Francisco from slides. Absolutely mint. You can mag right up. Oh, that one's Washington. Absolutely no one there. Capitol building. And some of these are of San Francisco, as you can see. Illuminated. San Francisco Exposition. Look at that for a lamppost. That is a beautiful shot. And these follies all over everywhere in Christendom. Technology. Not there just for nothing. Just there for aesthetics. Got more up there, some sphinxes. Oh, look at that statue. Oh, it's a Native American in San Francisco. He's got a demon face. I don't know what's going on downstairs. The lady's in hospital, but there's banging somebody in there. It's like a demon got hold of a woman. It's not even got a face. Oh, that's spooky. There it is. Wow, let's have a look at this. Holy shit, that's spooky. What lies in the shadows between the tick and the tock? I wouldn't worry about anything anyway, guys, and they can't really reset us because we've already broke the system, so I don't think they can even, you know, the loop has been broken, they can't do anything. Now they've got to do new strategies, new things like a pandemic. They got an ultimate plan. There's no doubt about it, and I'm not hanging around to find out what it is, because I tell you what it is, it ain't going to be nice. It ain't going to be a happy place. I guarantee you that. Day of the Triffids, everyone gets blinded by a meteor shower. And one guy survives because he's in a hospital, he's blindfolded, but it comes out everyone's blind. And then the world gets taken over by flesh-eating plants called Triffids. Absolutely brilliant book, but cluage. What about this? I showed this on my new series of Flat Earth British Extras. I'll be doing another one before the weekend, hopefully maybe for Saturday. And it shows the Tower of Babel as a star fort. This guy's marking it up with a brolly pen, an umbrella pen. They're all hunchbacked, very unusual looking. He's got a mask on because he's cutting stone in the dust. And it's on a star fort. And it's exactly the same style as Pierre van der Haar. Some rugrats making incredibly bad noise. So this is what's happening at the moment to everybody out there. Okay. Wait a minute, I think like something's wrong. Let's not all just jump off the edge of the cliff. Shut up, you moron. Do as you've been told. It's goodness for your own good, which is what they're saying. It's for your own health. I'm educating you. Okay, you need educating. Okay, put a dust mask on. You might breathe something dangerous. See what happens if you squirt egg, spray through a dust mask, comes through the other side. You've got to stop shit, even if that existed. But it's a special kind of stupid is what it is. Melting clocks. Yeah, Salvador Dali, trippy as shit. I think he's giving us a clue about time though. Is that a bee in there? Yeah, that's a bee in there. Or a fly. But yeah, I think it's a clocks and melting. I think it's a clue. I really do. So let's show you a couple more images. These are of Tehran. I'll give you the link, which is Iran. Tehran, the capital, and it's got a beautiful civilization, which looks like it's not been filled in yet, and everything's missing and mud flooded. Ceramic dome. Antiquity gadget. And I would say that this has been vitrified, this fort, and there's some sort of top for a chimney, which is all buried. See? This thing seems incomplete and hollow in what seems to be a mud-flooded world. Very unusual. Is that a skull? Or it could be. And these sort of buildings, these are from the 1800s. When was this built? What's it looking like that for? Why all the arches and doors, tiered up? What is this thing? Again, mud flooded, really spooky looking. Everything in the background's obscured. And this device, smashed again. Just one guy sort of guarding it. What did it do? Big chimney. Here it is. When it was in its heyday, it must have been fantastic, because it looks like shit now. Oh, look at that. Missing. Lots missing in that. Statues too. There's the chimney. Oh, that's mud flooded, alright. That would have had beautiful decoration all the way up. But it can't be part of the Industrial Revolution. This is 1880s Tehran, and it's ancient. The water's all worn this away. This goes deeper. And it's a technology. Could have survived weather because it's got basically beaver technology, ages to break up water, or part of another sort of technology. I think all of this is a civilization. You can see lines like bricks here, and they appear to have been melted at some stage. See that? Hang on. I'm going to have to mag up on that and see something there. I was wondering if that was a man there. It is, isn't it? Something behind him. And this is a brick building. This is stones. This is courses of stone. Courses. All that's been nuked. Vitrified. So yeah, the whole place. This is Tehran, mind. It's supposed to be a big city up running Persian Empire. But it would seem as if the whole place has been wrecked. Would you agree? These are all ruins. All ruins in this place. This one's been done up. It's a beautiful sort of villa affair. All water's not active there, but these are part of Aquatech. You all see these long slivers of water in these mansions. And that's the gardens, looking terrible mess. For some reason. Hollow again. And this is Tehran. Just mud and mud brick houses. Yeah, the elites live somewhere like this. Which is really hard to find architecture. It's Moorish, obviously, but what is it doing? What is its purpose? It's not just. That's not just a dwelling, is it? At all, because it's not cannon. Could be a military place. So it's people. Look at this place. Such decoration. Yeah, the rest of it's all wrecked. So yeah, good my somatics experiment. Hope you enjoy that soon. Get it on. Oh, look at these columns. A light bulb. I don't know what that is. It's got a ball or something. What are these? Oh, ropes. This is inside this temple. Crystals. There's no need for a crystal chandelier in this part of the world. This is a technology. Crystal holds memory. Crystal chandeliers are a big part of the computer tech. They have to be. All the elites have them in rows. It's the crystal in these. That's part of it. Definitely. Ugh. What happened to the music of today? It's complete shit. Well, it's government, weak ass crap, folks. Years ago, if you listen to, like, Move On Up, yeah, Curtis Mayfield, you get buzzing, it'd be, like, inspiring. Now, it's like, maybes. A load of maybes, you don't even know what it is. So what are they even saying? It's meaningless shit, is what it is. Look at this place, guys. Whoa. Lion, Ion, Zion. So we've got lion with a king's hat on. Some beautiful tapestries. And that's what the wall is, a tapestry. Yeah. So, I was going to show you some humour and some jokes. We're going to do a king and queen thumb. I built a brilliant mouse for king and queen thumb, but we're going to keep that for the weekend. Look at this. More water, and that's not a bathe in, it's aquatech. So yeah, Tehran's a really unusual architecture and a really unusual place. So, I guess I could show you some little jokes for now. Let me have a look. Okay. I have so many. So, can't touch it. That should be the song now, the anthem for Sharona times. Can't touch it. Social distancing. Hammerzit. Halt. Hammerzit. So it's like hammer time. He tried to do hammer time. Can't touch it. Can't touch it. Family kidnapped by ninjas need $4 for karate lessons. That is one brilliant scam. I wonder what he's going to spend it on though. I'd fall for it. Oh mate, really? Is your kid got no karate lessons? Might get beat up. Okay, use $4. Hey ho. Being pissed off gets old. It's just a whole new fuck it level. I'm not sure like that. Ah, a Dalek limitations. Yeah, Daleks can't do stairs. Davros could. No, he couldn't. So yeah, fuck. Bit of design fault there. Stone people crossing. Yeah, we should have one of them around by here. I was thinking of getting one of those, put it on the road over by there. That's just cruel and probably illegal, but maybe not. He looks happy. I will always love you. Flat Earth British peeps. Which is true. I'm not lying. I will always love Flat Earth British and Flat Earth British peeps. Fry's too old now. We don't do Fry. So yeah, he's looking happy. Nothing wrong with him. Can't touch this. Oh, this is where they got the idea from off of Star Trek for this sentient being guy. The hyper-intelligent, super-intelligent, because he's creating him so big. His brain 5 times bigger than the human brain. And lizard eyes. But he looks like he's got wind or something. Looks shocked. Yeah, he's on about the plague. I don't know what colour he is. No, no, you are really pissing me off. I don't get angry. It's going to take a lot. This guy, okay, apart from he's got one of the best jobs in the world, I think this is completely wrong. Okay, it's just searching this girl walking through this magnet. They're going to get worse with all of that, guys. They really are. I want to. If I was like, ruler of the world, every day would be the first day of spring. Okay. In the old days, I know some of you fellas can remember, guys, but you remember in the old days when girls used to flash their jugs and push them against windows, washing the car, soap and stuff? When was the last time you seen that? Do you know why? Because it don't happen anymore, guys. It don't happen anymore. That should be brought back, actually, I think. I don't know. I don't even know who he is. I don't recognise him. Yeah, you run up, kick him in the bollocks. What are you crying for? You have no belief. Yeah, I know. This is real. Look, they got a photograph of it all outside there. Okay? It's so close. I can't even look at that anymore because it's just so pathetic and childish. So these are Hellraiser crew cubes that you can get in Nazi Germany, and they will get you through into another dimension because he was mad on Vril and all of that. Look at this. Piezoelectric forces, Solomon sigils on a Nazi swastika Hellraiser box. You gotta like know the code. 88s, guys. SS's. And symbols of electrical demon things. So yeah, nuclear bombs are not real. And this is what they were doing in the past in America, in Kentucky. Okay, they instead of growing corn, they were getting everyone to grow ganja. This is what your dad would show your son to do. Son, I'm going to show you how to grow some good herbs. Ah, okay, Dad. That sounds like good, man. So that's what he used to do. Need cash for alcohol research. That's honesty. I like that. And an illiterate sign writer is probably stupid, special kind of stupid. That's wrong. So he posted spam. Yes, I know. It's a spam trait, guys. And Jimi Hendrix. I don't know what he's doing on there, but we do like Jimi Hendrix. You are not cool. No, you're fucking wrong. I am. And the eternal ham wrestle between God and the devil, or Jesus and the devil. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? The eternal battle. Well, it's already been won, guys. The game's over. Anyway, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna cut out in a short while. Now, never what I said about Barbaria. Its time is now. Okay, I'm gonna do a fundraising soon, guys. I want to get Barbaria Britain going. I'm getting very, very frustrated. Plus, like, time's finite. Yeah. So I'm going to do an experiment soon. I'm going to be back on the weekend. I got hangouts coming. We have to grab Autodidactic and UAP channel over here as well this week. Well, next week hopefully. We'll have one of our monthly hangouts and catch up on everything because it's been super busy and so much has happened. Did I forget anything? Okay. No, I covered more than I thought I might. I think more about Twin Cities as well. Okay, there's something going on with that, and more shared thoughts on the weekend. Okay, so that's just to keep you all going. Make sure to share this out. It was awesome to be back. Okay, it's awesome to be here with you guys. Okay, much love, much vibrations. Happy birthday, love. Hang on, see if you can feel this. You get all tingly. Cool. Anyway, be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'll be back very soon. Everything you've seen in this will be linked up.